audience. This is my audience for my informative speech and my persuasive speech. Izzy, Domingo, what's your name again, man? Jose, and Roberto over there on the computer.
Now it's time for your Colts update by me, Alexander Rosado. The Indianapolis Colts are knocked down, but they're not out. Currently tied for first place in the National Football League in the AFC South Division at 6-5 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But most are skeptical if they're going to be able to continue that race for much longer. The depleted Colts, due to injuries on both the defensive and offensive sides of the ball, have lost 3 of the last 4 games and seem to be losing steam. Injuries to key players on the offensive side of the ball have made the Colts almost one-dimensional. Their running game is almost non-existent, averaging 3 yards per carry ever since their starting Pro Bowler running back, Joseph Addai, went out with a neck injury in Week 6. According to Indy Star newspaper, his return is questionable for Week 13's game against the Dallas Cowboys, who have won 3 out of the last 4 games ever since new coach Jason Garrett took over the squad. The Indianapolis Colts, led by 4-time MVP quarterback Peyton Manning, used to be one of the most prolific offenses in the National Football League for the past 9 years. However, this year is not the case for the Colts. With injuries to running back Joseph Addai and tight end Dallas Clark, who are both Pro Bowlers, as well as wide receivers Austin Collie and Anthony Gonzalez, this well-oiled offense looks more like a run-down, rusted tractor. For this team that just last year reached the Super Bowl against the New Orleans Saints, and why might add, almost went undefeated in the regular season in 2009. So is there still hope for the defending AFC champions? If we look at the Colts' last 3 losses, 2 of those games were decided by a field goal or less. And these standings were provided by NFL.com. Excluding the game against San Diego Chargers, the Colts had the opportunity to win 3 of the last 4 games. So what's the problem? The problem seems to be an offensive turnovers, according to an article written by Jason Whitlock at MSN Fox Sports. Peyton Manning has thrown 9 interceptions and only 7 TD passes in the last 4 games. In defense of Peyton Manning, though, he has thrown over 1,100 yards in only 187 attempts. But the problem with that is that the team has only rushed for 233 yards and 74 attempts. As you can see from the stats provided by ESPN.com, the passing game versus the rushing game is very, very one-sided. Let's talk about the defense now. In Week 1, Bob Sanders went out with a bicep injury, but is still listed as questionable. Sources for Indy Star newspaper again says that he will not play with the Colts unless the Colts reach the playoffs. Also, the Colts have lost linebacker Gary Brackett and Clint Session. Both were starters for the Super Bowl last year against the New Orleans Saints. The loss of these 3 players have caused the Colts' run defense to be non-existent. Teams have rushed for a total of 469 yards in the last 4 games and scored 6 rushing TDs against the Colts' run defense, ranked 29th in the National Football League, according to ESPN Power Rankings. But are the Colts out? No, they're definitely down though. So they have 3 remaining divisional games left on their schedule, and all those games are at home. The Colts could win out those games. They can win out the division and win a ticket to the playoffs. All they need is momentum and healthy players. Once Joseph Addai, Austin Collie, Gary Brackett, Clint Session return to the lineup, as well as Bob Sanders, I believe this team will start moving on all cylinders. So watch out for the defending AFC champions to return to the Super Bowl for 2010. Thank you. That was my informative speech on the Indianapolis Colts.